Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Parenting on the Go. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you 5 effective consequences you can give your kids for misbehavior. Okay, so giving consequences to your kids is something that is very important in parenting. It is a form of discipline, but you have to be careful because it can have negative effects on your kids if not done properly. So make sure your consequences are healthy. Now, you want to ask if consequences is good or bad. If consequences are done properly, then yes. It helps family function in a healthy way. Even as grown-ups, we know that there are consequences for everything. And this kind of regulates how we behave. It's same for kids too. So the best place for kids to learn about consequences and action is from the parents. Please note that consequences help to discipline and shepherd and not to control. Now you want to ask, why are consequences important for kids? Now, without consequences or discipline, we can easily get the idea that life will always go our way and we don't need to take responsibility when we wrong someone or done something wrong. As you instruct your child to understand how to behave, remember that they are imperfect and that is okay. It is very okay for your kids to be imperfect. Nobody is perfect. And you also have to realize that these are kids too. Then, what are the things you need to consider before giving consequences to your kids? Number 1, make sure you are fair in your consequences. As they grow older, involve them in the decision on what consequences for a particular action should be so they understand. Number 2, explain to them the repercussions of the bad behavior or the bad decision. For younger kids, explain to them why they are getting a consequence. Don't assume they understand. Younger kids don't understand, especially toddlers. Number 3, have a game plan. This means that you know ahead of time what the consequences will be so you don't get angry and frustrated. The faster you act in response to their bad behavior, the better. So you don't don't react and then later think of the consequences to give. There should be a plan for a particular consequences as regards a particular behavior. Number 4, make sure they have healthy influences in their life, especially when it comes to watching screens. This affects their behavior and mental health. So make sure they are not seeing things they shouldn't or have too much screen time. All right. And then number 5, most importantly, reward good behavior. Now, parents are very guilty of this. They want to look at the bad behavior of a child and then ignore the good times that these children behaved well. So you want to reward your kids when they do things right, especially when they are kind to people or they are obedient. Whenever they display an obedient behavior, make sure you acknowledge it and then also match the offense with the consequences. So let's look at some of the consequences that you can give your kids. Number 1 is timing with you. What do I mean? So instead of sending your kids away and isolating them, make them sit somewhere in the same room with you and give them an objective to think of. So you can say, hey, what you did was disobedient to the rules we have. Take a minute to think about what happened and how you could have made a better choice. Then revisit it after they've had some time and then discuss what the better reaction could have been. Doing this will give them a clearer understanding of your expectation. Number 2 is fix or replace it. If you were specific about the rules of scattering the house, but your child did it anyway and something was broken, then they need to fix or replace it if they are at an appropriate age to do so. But if it was an accident that happened as a result of them being a kid, then that's different. Don't punish them for spilling milk, as kids are clumsy and that's normal. But if they were breaking the rules, then they need to take responsibility for their actions and replace what was broken. Number 3 is lose a privilege. So this is very common. Taking away a privilege can help a child understand that not everything goes their way and also to be grateful for what they have. If they can't share their toy, then take it away for a day, so on and so forth. Number 4, match the offense with the consequences. So let's say they told you they brushed their teeth before bed, but in actuality they didn't. You need to make sure you address both the lying and the disobedience. You could say something like, since you don't want to brush your teeth, then I guess there are no more sweets until you can show that you can obey. If you don't brush your teeth, then your teeth will rot and you will have to go to the dentist. This helps them understand that natural consequences that occur when they don't brush their teeth. It's also important to address the fact that they lied to you. Trust was broken in the relationship, so make them aware of that and figure out the consequences that will help them see that lying is wrong. And that brings me to number 5. And number 5, have them take responsibility for their actions. So let's say they said or did something hurtful to another child on a play date. It's important that you encourage them to apologize and admit they are wrong, so they learn about humility and treating others with kindness. This is quite possibly the best thing that discipline teaches a child, that they won't always be perfect and that it's okay as long as they can take responsibility in honesty and love. So don't shy away from disciplining your child just because by popular belief it's not the thing to do. When done properly, consequences will enable your children to have mental and emotional strength for a harsh and unforgiving world. If we can't prepare our kids for this world, then they will be a product of a spoiled and do whatever you want mentality that won't get them very far. But it's with that, we have to balance it with grace, love, and understanding. Parenting is more about balance than anything else. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video and share to other moms. I love you. See you in my next video. Bye.